Some brands offer you low finance, or cashback, or servicing.
Renault don't do ors. We do ands. The Renault Kadjar with 1.91% APR and €1,000 cashback and 3 years servicing, saving you thousands. Renault, the brand with the ands. Visit your local Renault dealer. Finance is made under a hire purchase agreement. Terms and conditions apply. Deposit required. Subject to lending criteria. See Renault.ie.
Listening to Coffee with Kenobi, you are the podcast you're looking for. This is...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to show number 127 of Coffee with Kenobi. This is a very special bonus show for you because I'm going to give you a number of exciting things from my experiences last weekend at Galactic Nights at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Walt Disney World was kind enough to send me, and I can't thank them enough for the awesome experience. You're going to hear on this little show, you're going to hear the audio from the Galactic Nights panel, where you're going to hear from the Imagineers themselves as they reveal a lot of amazing things that are going to be happening and coming your way to Galaxy's Edge when that opens at Disneyland in the summer of 2019 and the fall of Disney World in 2019. You'll also hear a conversation that I had with Aaron Sagers, who is a professional geek and a writer for Sci-Fi, along with a number of other outlets. He's a really fun guy to chat with, and his enthusiasm is infectious. You'll love that. But we've got to start out the show with my conversation with Chewbacca himself, Joonas Suotamo. He is an amazing guy. He is as awesome as you have seen him on interviews and on the Star Wars show and on the red carpet of Solo. He's great. He's Chewbacca from The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Solo, A Star Wars Story. I caught up with him at Galactic Nights and found out what it was like to be behind that mask as Chewbacca and to star alongside both Alden Ehrenreich and Harrison Ford. Dan Z from Coffee with Kenobi here with Joonas Suotamo. Perfect. It's great to see you, man.
It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
You bet. We chatted briefly at the premiere. What was that experience like for you? Because obviously you've been in a lot of Star Wars films now. This is your third one. But now you're... Chewbacca, this is like he's one of the main characters in this movie. Did that have an impact on you on the premiere?
I mean, it did. I was overwhelmed by the anticipation of the film because it was. I knew Solo was going to be good, and it blew me away with its like spontaneous adventure-like qualities, and it was just a fun film to watch as an audience member. But also, I really loved that Chewbacca has a big role in it, and it was a lot of fun to do.
So the physicality of Chewbacca in this movie really, I think, is one of the coolest parts about this. What kind of went into the execution of that and your prep work for that? Because he's all over the place and he's throwing people around. It's pretty powerful stuff. Yeah,
we knew that going in, and we did 2 months of stunt training, and we wanted to get Chewie's to cash in on the promises of the original films that Chewbacca is strong and is gonna rip your arms off kind of thing, we just trained hard to make that happen. And there were some stuff that I knew I couldn't have done without those 2 months of rigorous training and preparation. And I just wanted to show that, and also show a side of Chewie that he's more if the situation calls it, he's able to do things that we've never seen him do. And I think that's true for the old and new, the younger Chewbacca as well, because I mean he hasn't aged that much.
That's right. That's a really powerful scene when the two of them meet. That's really intense because we didn't really know what to expect. We knew that they met through pretty tricky circumstances. Now we actually get to see that played out. But you're covered in fur and mud. What was that like?
It was pretty miserable shooting 3 weeks in the mud. I mean, first day we had the whole filmmaking crew, they're eager to start filming, and at the end of those 3 weeks, there was barely anyone. It was just me and Alden and the cameraman, and I mean, it was pretty miserable.
So for you, why is Chewbacca so incredibly important to this mythology?
Because he's this kind of thing that immediately brings you back to your childhood, and he's just the one of the most memorable characters because he moves in a very specific way and has a certain weight and sort of a physical, cumbersome kind of way of walking. And I think that's the best thing about Chewie. He's memorable, and he has also wonderful qualities such as stubbornness but also loyalty and friendship.
I agree, and you obviously embody that character beautifully. But you have something really cool and unique that we talked about at the premiere. You've worked with Harrison Ford as Han Solo and Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo. What is it like? Compare and contrast the two.
I mean, it's funny because Alden, similar to myself, is a fan of Star Wars growing up. And Harrison, I don't know if ever wanted to. I mean, or at least he said that he hasn't cared. But I think deep inside he cares. But it was wonderful to work with Harrison because it was like meeting your childhood hero, basically, and getting to just hang around and just be in the moment with him. And now getting to work with Alden was very much the same in a different kind of way. You know, we got to really think about how the characters' chemistry will play together and really try to work on bringing that to screen believably.
Right. Well, it worked beautifully. Hey, Joonas, thank you so much for your time. We can't wait to see more of Chewbacca and you in the future.
Thank you so much, yeah. And may the roar be with you.
Great to see you all here. The force is strong in here tonight. Either that or it could be my aftershave, I'm not sure. Welcome everyone. Yes, I'm Warwick Davis, and I suspect, I'm not sure, but we may have a few Star Wars fans in the house tonight. Fantastic. And some of you may recognize me as Walt or Weasel from The Phantom Menace, or perhaps as Wooladin from The Force Awakens, or even Wheaty Sayobi from Rogue One. There he is, a face only a mother could love. Or perhaps in my cameo in the brand new Solo movie. Who's seen that movie? Need I say, did you enjoy it? Yeah. Fantastic. But most of you will probably know me as Wicked the Ewok from Return. You know, it's such a thrill for me to be part of the Star Wars universe. I absolutely love it, not only as an actor, but also as a fan. And tonight, we're going to hear some very exciting news about the future of Star Wars. Are you ready for that? Yeah. Are you ready to go inside Star Wars Galaxy's Edge? Yeah. I certainly can't wait to explore all that the brand new planet of Batuu has to offer. Now, I've been involved with Star Wars for many years, and that love of Star Wars started when I was just 7 years old, when I went to see Star Wars A New Hope in the cinema. And I had a small group of action figures, and I used to immerse myself in that world through those action figures. And then when I was 11 years old, I was cast in the films, and I got to walk on the sets, I got to play on the sets, and I got to battle stormtroopers. It was fantastic. And I wondered about the possibilities of a real-life Star Wars experience. But then the director said cut, and it was all over. But when you're on Batuu, no one's going to say cut. It's an immersive experience that you're absolutely going to love. So, are you ready to meet the architects of this brand new world? Yeah! Okay. And to help us do that, please let me introduce your host for the evening, Mr. David Collins. Here he is.
And congratulations on your part in Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Thank you very much. I know it's really delightful hearing people's reactions to me being part of this movie once again. I managed to sneak into all the films, but funnily enough, people just noticed me as Weasel in the movie, but I have contributed, not easy for me to say, to a few other characters in the movie that nobody spotted yet.
Well, I have to tell you, and I don't want to give anything away. How many of you have seen Solo already? Well, for just a few of you that haven't, I won't give anything away when I say this, but when you were revealed, I was at the premiere, everyone in the audience cheered.
Oh, thank you.
It wouldn't be a Star Wars movie without Warwick Davis.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Listen, we're all going to have a great time here at Galactic Nights. You're going to learn loads now in this panel. But David, I've got to go because I've got to prepare tonight's big spectacular finale. Okay, so I'm off to get things ready for that. Okay?
Well, we'll be sure to be there.
Good luck. I'll see you later.
All right, see you, Warwick. Warwick Davis, ladies and gentlemen. Galactic Nights, how are you doing? I am so excited to be here. My name is David Collins. I'm a sound editor and mixer at Skywalker Sound and a voiceover actor in the new movies. And I'm also, like you, a huge Star Wars fan. How many of you were here at Galactic Nights in December? Anybody? Okay, we got a little taste of what's to come inside Galaxy's Edge next year when it arrives here at Walt Disney World's Hollywood Studios. I cannot wait for you all to experience what they're going to share tonight. Tonight, we are going to reveal a few new things about Galaxy's Edge. I just cannot wait. I get to go to Imagineering and sit in these meetings and I go, oh man, people are going to go nuts over that. And even some things that I haven't heard yet, we're going to talk about tonight. It's like we're all going to be honorary Imagineers, sitting at a meeting with this golden opportunity to be like a fly on the wall as the creators of Galaxy's Edge. I wanted to call it Batuu. Batuu, what a cool planet name. The creators of Batuu get to discuss their process and what we all get to experience next year. You guys ready? Come on, are you ready? I can hear you. They're right backstage. You ready? All right, well, give a warm welcome to Imagineers Eric, John, Margaret, and Scott from Walt Disney Imagineering. Come on stage. Thank you so much, your Walt Disney Imagineers, for the evening. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to update us on all of the progress. Why don't we start by introducing yourselves and your role at Imagineering.
My name is Eric Baker. I'm the creative director in charge of the thousands of pieces of props and set dressing that will be bringing this world to life.
I'm John Georges, executive producer of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge here at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I've been at Imagineering for over 30 years, and I was actually, thank you. It's amazing because I actually worked on the original Disney MGM studios, so it's so fantastic to be back and being part of this transformation.
Fantastic.
Hi everyone, I'm Margaret Harrison, and I'm the managing story editor to help tell the stories for the Star Wars portfolio. So for all our parks, resorts, cruise lines, I work very closely with our team and Lucasfilm to develop and create those stories.
What a cool job. You tell Star Wars stories for a living.
Yes, I do. It is a dream job, I have to say.
That's a good opening line at a party. Did you think you'd be doing that? Did you ever think?
No, I would not expect that at all. But you know what? I would not imagine doing anything else right now. This is truly a dream job.
Good, because that's your job. You have to do that. We're all waiting with bated breath. Yes, Scott.
And I'm Scott Trowbridge, and I get to work with these cool people and many others around the world, overseeing how we bring Star Wars to life in Disney's parks, resorts, cruise lines, and all of that stuff. And you know, we're all super excited to be here with you guys tonight because the one thing we never lose sight of is who we're doing this work for, and that's you guys, the fans. So we're super excited to share this stuff with you guys. And we have a lot of stuff for you guys tonight that you'll be the first audience ever to see some of this stuff. So
I'm excited. Yeah. Well, for those that don't know about Galaxy's Edge and Batuu, can you just give an overview of what we can expect to kick things off?
Yeah. So Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, as you said, is set on the planet Batuu, which is a remote frontier outpost somewhere on the edge of wild space. It used to be an old trading planet. It's kind of fallen off of prominence a little bit with the advent of faster than light travel, so which made it a perfect home for those who didn't want to be on the mainstream path, right? So the smugglers, the bounty hunters, the rogue adventurers looking to crew up for some not quite above board mission. It's all the interesting people. And it's
perfect for park guests, right?
Yeah, it's perfect for park guests because it's the stepping off point for our Star Wars story, right? And this is a place that is specifically made for you guys to explore and discover and find your Star Wars story in here. And that can be anything from whether you're just kind of like walking through the markets and this exotic trading port and kind of like taking advantage of the unique things that are there, whether it be some of the food and beverages, the fruit offerings, the treats from across the galaxy that you might find there, or some of the objects that are only available on this planet, some of the artisanally crafted products, the toys and jewelry and things like that you'll only be able to find on this planet that have come from all across the galaxy because it is a spaceport. Right. And as a spaceport, that means there are spaceships, including, anybody recognize this one? Yeah. Some people call it like a flying hunk of garbage, hunk of junk. I think it's got a special je ne sais quoi about it. I don't know. But yeah, so the Millennium Falcon, fastest ship in the galaxy, we're going to find that there. It is the stepping off point for one of our big anchor attraction experiences, which puts you in the cockpit behind the controls, you and your flight crew literally taking control of the Falcon on a mission. Or, not everything is a fun joyride. Our other big anchor attraction experience, which we'll hear a little bit more about tonight, puts you in the middle of a battle between the First Order and the Resistance. It is an epic experience, bringing all of the epicness of Star Wars to life. So a lot of stuff going to be part of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
That is a lot to take in. That already sounds like just an incredible amount of great Star Wars to experience when it comes here to Hollywood Studios.
But it is the biggest project we've ever done. It's the single largest land expansion that we've ever done. But we think Star Wars deserves the single biggest project.
What do you think? I think so. Well, how many of you have seen it? You can actually see it under construction, or just the top of it. Have you seen it over there? You all seen it under construction? Well, we're just all so curious, wanting to peek over the fence, Where are we at today with it? May of 2018. How's it going?
It is progressing rapidly. I think our team is just always in awe. Every time we walk the site, 14 acres is huge. And you walk and walk and walk, and you can just see all this tremendous progress. In fact, I think we have a video of the site. Would you guys be interested in seeing that tonight? This was very recent aerial footage that was shot, and you can really start to see the rockwork spires soaring into the sky above the land. A lot of the construction down below is the village on the planet itself, on the surface of Batu. Again, it's really just the massive scope and scale of all this, and the hundreds of people that are coming in every day passionately doing this work tirelessly, and are actually as excited as all of you are to get it done and live their own Star Wars adventures too. Really, really impressive and exciting time for this project.
We play this music every morning.
We do. It plays in my head all day.
That is awesome. I am so excited, and when I see that video, and every time you give us an update, I'm just amazed at the scale of all of this. The amount of work, the vast scope of it is just breathtaking. I can barely get my taxes done. I can't imagine, having to oversee a team that has to pull off something that huge.
Well, we may be able to help you with that because, as John said, it's a huge team. Globally, we have about 5,000 people that are working on this. When you think about the groups here in Orlando and Anaheim, and when I say globally, I literally mean all over the world. The great thing about when you call someone and say, "Hi, I'm calling from Imagineering and I want to talk about Star Wars," there's nobody who doesn't take that phone call, which is great, because that means we get to pull in the very best people and companies and experts from across the globe to help us make this, whether that is story expertise or design expertise or movie production expertise or practical fabrication of giant epic sets or technology development. We literally have stuff happening across the globe with the best people. Doing this with the kind of authenticity and the attention to detail that I think you guys are hoping for, and we're definitely committed to, requires us to really just reach out to the people who can make the best Star Wars.
Now, when you say all around the globe, can you give us an example?
Yeah.
For example.
Well, maybe we should start where kind of Star Wars production started, and that's in the UK. So right alongside the movie production crews when we're making our new films, we are also making content for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So right there at Pinewood Studios with the same, hair, makeup, special effects, costumes, production folks working right alongside all the key talent that you would expect us to be working with to help bring Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to life, because nobody puts Star Wars on screen better than that group of folks. So we're tapping into those folks. Now, the thing with that is, I sometimes wish all we had to worry about was putting it on screens, but that's not what we're doing.
No.
We're bringing it to life for reals.
That's right, because you're not just putting it on a camera on one angle. You have to make a 360 real.
And so that so you can believe you're fully immersed in Star Wars. So that means We go literally to fabrication shops and experts that have the capability to build the size and scale of stuff that we need for this. So it's all over the map.
Okay, that's the second time you've mentioned size and scale. Are you guys picking up on this? Can you give us an example of size and scale? What do you mean by that? You mentioned something epic.
Well, John actually shared with me earlier this week a photo that I thought was really, really cool of some work that we're actually doing in Asia, that he's overseeing in Asia, which I thought we could share with you guys. Yeah.
And I think a lot of the people in the audience tonight may have heard a rumor about us building some AT-ATs, but we are actually building AT-ATs, full-size AT-ATs.
You're building AT-ATs?
We are, full-size.
Right over here!
Right over. In fact, they may be walking in right now.
Wait. All-terrain, armored, wait, you said 2 AT-ATs.
AT-ATs.
Plural. You're building more than one?
We are building
look at that.
You know, and I think when these are so massive, when they appear in the films, they're typically done as a digital effect. So nobody's ever thought about doing these full-size practically before. It's been quite a feat, actually, to pull this off completely. And speaking of feet, there's a pair of you may want to really amazing attention to detail. You know, our partnership with Lucasfilm on this whole project has been so seamless, and we've had access to the filmmakers and Doug Chang and the design team, so the accuracy and the level of detail in these is unprecedented. Tonight we're actually going to take you inside the attraction for the first time and give you a first peek at what these AT-ATs look like.
You want to see it?
So this is not a CG rendering. This is a practical set of these giant AT-AT walkers.
That's a photograph. Inside the set. Right over there.
Yeah.
No wonder they're so scary.
And you mentioned that those are to scale. That's actually a full-size
AT-ATs. Yeah. And even though they're not in operation yet, they're a little intimidating to those of us who go into the scene for show installation.
That is, look at that. Look at the attention to detail there. And that's just taken right underneath.
Well, like we said, if you're going to go inside one of these epic experiences and live a piece of Star Wars, this is what you would expect, right? This is exactly the kind of experience that you would expect to be part of your story. And although we're not going to talk too much about this story tonight, I think you guys are getting a sense that maybe not everything is going to go according to plan.
Wait, so we have to go up against these?
Kind of whether you like it or not.
I can't believe this is happening. I'm ready. You guys ready?
Yeah.
So I know that this is our first look inside this, and I know it's still early, but is there anything else you can share about this second epic attraction?
Yeah, actually, we wanted to share tonight that there's another ship in our land. So in addition to the Millennium Falcon that you'll all be able to get on board and take a journey on, we have another ship as part of this experience that's a resistance troop transport. And I think some of you in the audience may have been familiar with this. We released some artwork previously, and if any of you went to the D23 Expo in Anaheim last summer, we actually had a model of that on display, but we haven't said a lot about it. This is an actual physical full-size ship that you'll actually step on board and set off on an adventure of your own.
So just like the Falcon, this is now a second ship in Galaxy's Edge.
It's a busy spaceport there, yes it is.
So Batuu is just the beginning. It's just a spaceport, and then we're going to go out into the galaxy and experience.
Yeah, it's a big galaxy. We've got lots of places to go. I mean, there's more than 2 ships in the land. This is just another one that you actually get to go in and take a journey on. Wow.
We want to share a little bit of our production story here. We started obviously with Lucasfilm, again, in partnership, and then we worked with our Imagineers in our model shop in Glendale to actually visualize this dimensionally for the first time. Again, this is a brand new ship that was created for this experience. And then, of course, the model isn't big enough to put all of our guests in. We have to do a full-size version of this. And you can see this is a very recent production shot from Asia that is just unbelievable. Epic in scale, beautifully detailed. Really, you might notice a little bit of battle damage. I think it's had kind of a rough life before it landed on Batuu, but really, really beautiful, beautiful ship.
I mean, it's worth mentioning again that, I mean, you're really actually building this stuff 360 for real. It's not just a facade for a film, but that is an actual ship that we get to board.
It's the real deal.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, that's
there's a detail of one of the cannons.
We're going to need those?
You may.
Well, that is really, really exciting. So you've got, I mean, you're shooting and producing along with the films in the UK. You've got epic pieces being constructed in Asia. I see you smiling over there. Is there anything else you want to share?
Well, you know, we are so excited to reveal a very special character that is joining us in our land. And he actually had a very minor role in the films, but all of you made him into a superstar. And of course, we decided we cannot build this land without bringing a certain character into the story. Do we have any Nine Numb fans here?
Yeah. Anybody dressed like Nine Numb? You never know, Galactic.
So, I don't know how many of you know this, but when they shot Return of the Jedi, there was a graduate student from Kenya who was visiting, and they recorded him in his native language. And so we decided we wanted to find this original voice actor for Nine Numb. So we traveled all the way to Kenya to record him so that we can have this authentic character in our land. So we're very, very excited about that.
Now, when you say you had to find him, he just was off the radar for a while, like nobody knew how to track him down?
You know, he was a graduate student, and he was in the Bay Area when they shot Return of the Jedi, and then fell off the map. And when they shot The Force Awakens, they wanted to bring him back. So Lucasfilm scoured the earth for him and found him in Kenya, where he's from. So we found Kipsang Gilrotich, and we have a little clip of him in Kenya right here. So we're gonna roll that.
Oh, let's take a look.
My name is Kipsang Gilrotich. I'm from Baringo County in the Rift Valley. I got a surprise contract by mail telling me that I've been nominated for a voice by Lucasfilm, and I was selected to be the voice of Nine Numb in the Star Wars. That was the beginning. Until now, I got that surprise that I was being wanted again to be a voice of Nine Numb. My real nephew called me and he said, "Uncle, you know you're wanted in America." He told me to check on the internet. Many people positing themselves as it is, they were Nine Numb. So there are over 1,000 people who are claiming to be me. It's amazing how Nine Numb has evolved in the last 30 years. He's become a very famous character. When I think that I'm going to be part of that voice to be played in Disney World, it's amazingly unbelievable. And I'm really happy to be that family of Star Wars who are bringing the whole world together and globally to unite humanity.
I mean, what's great about that video, even beyond Galaxy's Edge, as a Star Wars fan, I mean, I've never seen anything like that, and I've certainly never been able to put his face to that voice, and it's such a great story.
And that's the first time he's ever been filmed. Actually, we've heard him before, but that's the first time Kipsang has been recorded on film as well.
That's really, really exciting.
But that's what we have to do, right? I mean, for you guys, if we're going to have a character like that, we have to do it with the level of authenticity. We have to do it as well as we can. Again, because we're constantly reminded of what you guys are all hoping that we're doing. And we think this is, we're happy to go. No, we're not happy. It's kind of a pain in the butt, frankly. But it's what we have to do in order to do this at the best version of bringing Star Wars to life that we can.
Every detail is important.
Every detail that we can think of is important.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we've talked about what's happening around the world, but I'm really curious, and I'm sure all of you are curious as well, to know what's happening right here in Orlando, Florida. Can you talk about the production that's happening right here?
There is so much going on in Orlando, Florida right now. There are thousands of artisans working on Star Wars in Orlando, Florida. And I'm privileged to head up a team of extremely talented artists who are also hardcore Star Wars fans, just like you, who are building all the props and set dressing at a top secret location in Orlando. And they're the guys that are going to bring this world to life with all the little minuscule details that you've always wanted to see. And the challenge for us is doing it as good as you guys. You guys have been doing it for 40-something years, and we're trying to keep up with you. And I mean, you guys are the best at building helmets and droids and blasters and all that stuff, and we're trying to do it as good as you. Because everybody knows that the fans are the best.
You're doing a fine job. You're doing a fine job.
But we've been very privileged to get to work with the film crew in the UK. I mean, how many of you guys would like a chance to go to a Star Wars film set?
Yeah.
I've been 3 times. I got to go to Rogue One, Episode 8, and Han Solo 3 times, I think. But my crew's been working very closely with Lee Sandals, who's one of the set decorators from the Star Wars film, and with his crew. We've had people shopping in England and people shopping in India, all over the globe, going to the same places that the Star Wars crew shops to buy all of their props and set dressing and little bits and pieces of Greeblies that make up this world. I've traveled hundreds of miles out into the desert outside of California, digging through aircraft scrap yards, looking for just the right pieces of junk, if you will, to bring this world to life.
Star Wars treasure.
Star Wars treasure, that's it. But it's very important to us to make everything exactly right, because we know that's what you guys deserve. And one of the things that I'm very privileged to get to tell you this, for the first time, we're going to give you a sneak peek. Scott mentioned we have a shopping market earlier, and in that market, we have a creature stall. Everyone loves the creatures of Star Wars, be they cute or cuddly or creepy and scary. You'll get to see them all at this place. The creatures they'll come to life, and you'll get to take one home with you if you're lucky. Right now, our artisans are focusing on bringing these creatures to life. And a lot of the creatures that we're doing have never existed before outside of the literature or an animated series. So for the first time, we're getting to bring these characters to life. And we're working with Doug Chang, which is an honor for all of our artists to get to be directed by Doug and have his input on the work that we're doing. We're very lucky to have him working with us. But for the first time, you'll see these creatures coming to life that have only existed in print before or existed in an animated series, for instance. How many of you know the Loft Cats? Star Wars Well, we're going to bring one to life for you to see in real. You'll be able to walk around in. You'll be living, breathing. This is a sculpt that we're working on right now, and this is very early on in the process. This is one of the first reviews we did with Doug of the creature. But this is the kind of detail and the kind of love we're putting into everything we're doing. We're expanding the Star Wars, all parts of the Star Wars universe, really. We're touching on the animated series, the books, the movies, everything to bring this world to life.
That's so exciting. How cool to take something from an animated show and make it awesome. Photoreal and 3D in a way that you can see it in real life. That just sounds incredible.
Yeah.
And the stories that you get to draw from all kinds of different lore, that's also exciting as you get your movies and animation and things. Yeah.
We definitely take it very, very seriously. Because we've seen all these great characters and creatures and stories and locations take place on screen, we want to make a believable place, right? We want to make this a believable location in the Star Wars galaxy. And this is something that we had talked about in terms of the history, the geography, and all this. And we had revealed before the name of our planet, Batuu, but we would like to reveal something else for the first time to all of you tonight. And that is the name of the actual village that we're coming to. So
one person is interested.
I will tell you what the name of this location is. Come on up here. So the name of our village is Black Spire Outpost. And there's a reason why we call it that. There are thousands and thousands of years ago, we imagined that there was these tall, towering ancient trees that overlooked the river valleys here. And over the years, these trees eroded and petrified and became these unique rock formations. And as the planet became more of a minor crossroads for trade, people would stop by and actually know this planet as the place for these spires. But there was one particular spire that's located centrally in the village, and this particular spire was more unique and more blacker than all the rest. And it became a wayfinding for all of the travelers, all the smugglers and bounty hunters who came by. They said, I'll meet you at the Black Spire. So it became this very infamous location. And this is the location where your adventures begin.
Yeah. So we'll be seeing you at Black Spire Outpost.
And we wanted you guys to hear that first.
That is really, really awesome. So that's one of the things that we see under construction there is that Black Spire.
Yes, that's right. We have a lot of these spires. You can see that a lot of these tall formations happening right now. But then when you come closer and when you do enter into the village, there is one particular spire that has really not only become an iconic landmark to the people who live on Black Spire, but has really become the heart of the outpost.
I swear, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I sit up here and I think sometimes, I can't believe this is happening. I mean, two of my favorite things of all time, Star Wars and Disney World, coming together at a scale that I just never in my wildest dreams imagined. And just getting these little tidbits get me so excited for when we actually get to go and experience this. Aren't you guys excited about this? All right,
Let us finish it.
Please,
let us finish
speaking of
it.
which, you did have an announcement that came out earlier this week about when.
Yeah, we got a little bit more, we gave a little bit more detail about when we would be opening on both the Disneyland version and also right here at Disney Hollywood Studios. We talked about it. We actually shared a fun new, some imagery of Black Spire Outpost, as Margaret just said. And instead of me just saying it, I thought maybe we could run that little video clip again. You guys want to see that?
You want to see it?
Yeah. Another view of Black Spire Outpost.
At Galaxy's Edge. That's amazing. Now, before we go, is there anything else that you want to share with us?
You know, I just want to say, I love the thinking that Margaret puts into this storytelling here about understanding the geology and the deep history of the planet and the kind of the physical storytelling that Eric and his team kind of put into all those props and dressings and the way that John is bringing the epic Star Wars stories to life. I'm so excited about all the new stories that we're bringing to life and the new characters and the new locations that we're bringing into the Star Wars universe. You know, it was about a year ago that we got together right here and shared with you the first of our Star Wars Galaxy's Edge trading cards. Anybody get some of those? You guys get some of those? Yeah. So, here they are, right. And we teased some of the stories. We kind of introduced some of the characters and some of the locations that would be part of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But if you put them together, and if those of you who maybe kind of flip them over, you realize that the back of the cards actually made a map. But the map was incomplete until tonight. For you guys are going to be the first to receive the rest of the first pack of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge cards that will complete that map. Bring in some additional characters and stories so you'll have a sense of what's coming. And also a little bit, some of the secrets and a little bit more of the history behind Black Spire Outpost, which, although it may be new to us, as a reminder, is not new to some of our favorite Star Wars characters. They've known about it for a really long time. So, and those will not be here in the theater tonight, but when you leave the park tonight, when you leave the event tonight at the exit, everyone will be given the cards you need to complete that map and complete the set.
That's great. So, not that you're exiting the theater, but tonight when you're exiting the park, we'll all get those trading cards.
Yep.
I'm so excited. Please give a round of applause for our Imagineers. Please join me in thanking them. Thank you so much. And thank all of you here at Galactic Nights. Have a great night. I'm David Collins. May the force be with you.
So talks first? You talk first? I talk first.
We're back at Galactic Nights. I'm here with Aaron Sagers. He's a professional nerd, but more importantly, he's a good buddy of mine. We met, was it November, for the Star Tours event when they had Crate. How you doing, man?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here at Galactic Nights. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. You and I both had a conversation with Joonas, and that guy is the real deal, isn't he?
By real deal, also real tall deal. Like it's appropriate that I'm wearing an Ewok shirt because I feel like an Ewok standing next to him, height-wise.
And he's legitimately nice. Like, you can tell because, we talk to a lot of people. You've talked to so many different stars over the years, and there are various degrees of personality, and he seems to be a really nice guy who enjoys what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And very humble and honest about the fact that, like, he was saying, like, he needed a job. Things were not going so great for him before this gig kind of presented itself. And then, boom, Star Wars. Like, that's amazing and impressive, but also very humble of him to talk about.
Right. What has impressed you the most about how Disney is rolling out Galaxy's Edge?
Well, I really am impressed by the consistent flow of information. It seems like we're getting this constant stream of stuff of, we're going to have an AT-AT, we're going to have a trooper ship here, we're going to have the Millennium Falcon. Like, it seems like consistently they've been rolling that out. That's sort of from, like, the business perspective. I think they've been very strategic. It's Disney. I guess they know what they're doing. But it's been impressive that way. As far as, like, what I'm most excited about, the Millennium Falcon, I'm excited about Lothcats. I'm excited about Nine Numb, is going to be a character in this park. But the Millennium Falcon, man, we got a full size. Like, that's the dream. That's a mind-blowing dream as a nerd.
I have every confidence that when I walk up that ramp for the first time with the kids, it's just going to be one of those moments where your life flashes before your eyes, and you remember every time you ever play with that thing from the Kenner Falcon or whatever, and seeing it go, and then when you ride Star Tours the first time when you go to Lightspeed, we're going to be able to be a part of this thing, and they're doing that with everything. You've got 2 life-size AT-ATs. There's one here, obviously, that's been here for 20 years, but this is a life-size AT-AT, and they're building 2 of them.
Yeah, and, well, okay, so just, again, Millennium Falcon, not to go too much into that, but so back in, 2007 or whatever, maybe 2008, when Hasbro released their Legacy edition of the Falcon, which was this massive thing. Oh, I have that, yeah. Joe Moscone at Hasbro, man, shout out to that guy. He was awesome. But I would pull back, like, the little floorboards and, all the panels and everything. And at that time, even, at that time in my 30s, I was like, I just want to shrink myself down and crawl inside there. And now I'll be able to do that. And hopefully we'll be able to go inside the as well. So, I don't think they mentioned that, but hopefully something like that will be available.
Well, that would be a pretty big elevator because the thing looks huge. They showed us pictures, a lot of pictures, which we had on our Twitter feed, but they showed the feet of this thing. Incredible. And then you talked about Nine Numb, and they're building a new vehicle, the Resistance Transport. We know they're going all out. Disney does that. All you need to do is go to Pandora to see that. This is cool. And Galactic Nights, I love Galactic Nights. It's just, it's more private. Everything is Star Wars themed. It's just a blast.
Well, and I have to say, just over by the Star Tours just a few minutes ago, I saw Han and Leia get engaged. Han proposed to Leia. I did not hear what she said, but I really hope he said, "I love you," and she said, "I know." Hope that happened, but she accepted. So it looks like we're forming a new Rebel Alliance, man, and it starts with their marriage. So.
And you hope they don't have a child named Ben.
No, that doesn't go so well, does that? No, yeah.
Well, Aaron, thanks so much. It's great to see you as always. Obviously, you're going to be a co-host very, very soon on Coffee with Kenobi. Have a great night, man.
Brother, I'm so excited to talk to you, and I can't wait to talk to you some more on this.
Perfect.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Coffee with Kenobi unless otherwise indicated.
This is the podcast you're looking for.
There's no one here. Move along. Move along.